The termination of a nightmare which content wasn't remembered. The Demeter after awakening without 10:05 in the morning left not pleasant dryness in a mouth, the insuperable feeling of thirst which forced it wearily and slowly to pull down the sleepy body from a bed. Early morning cold like snakes wound her body. Dee always went to bed bared as it aggravated feelings, led to understanding of dreams and their transformation in prophetical, to development of the hidden opportunities of the personality, to what Kant called transcendental unity of an apperception. During wakefulness, an empirical apperception, empirical consciousness, the reason and only an initial apperception don't allow to clean blinders of subjectively perceived reality, subjective reality, properly, pure consciousness, a dream, an expanded state consciousness, allows to perceive reality objectively, to open eyes towards to objective reality. The feeling of thirst brought to the Demeter on kitchen. Having darted a glance at the dawn sky which slightly painted a huge window it, having enough wakened by then, I filled a glass with water and as soon as took it in a hand of force left it, fingers became wadded as at a rag doll and that hour it unclenched them. The glass as though in the slowed down video filming slow-mo began to fall on a cold milky white tile. When falling splashes of water mixed up with the small ringing splinters and the total absence of any foreign sounds and smells was the strangest that night. It was similar to aircraft when the fighter breaks a supersonic barrier at which a sound its engine it becomes heard after considerable removal of the aircraft. That oddly happened also to a sound of a fragile glass. Echo from fragile glasses, having sharply struck hearing, quickly took control of a body dimeters to such an extent that it potem6 nelo in eyes from this painful sound, to such an extent that she blinked and only after that the sound stopped. Having opened eyes, she looked round. Huge panoramic windows opened really fantastic view of the unfamiliar night city. Yellowish light in windows of skyscrapers burned is non-uniform and pulsed. Cars, microscopic at a view from the window, moved very quickly, slowed down speed, altogether as if on pressing of the pause button stopped, and the same happened to clouds, hardly noticeable in the night sky. The echo reminding more a gale force wind came from the neighboring room. Having torn off a look from an urban view, the Demeter turned the head in that party from where there was a sound, in passing studying the room. Shooters of round vintage hours with convex glass moved forward, back, and were fixed on the white dial in the middle of a black triangle without figures. Requisitions the held down fear of stay in absolutely unfamiliar place, followed by the nasty chill beginning from contact of bare feet with a cold tile on a floor with the alternating black and white color, and according to run on a back she took at first one step towards a sound, then another, then the sound became more distinct, a sound of the flowing water. Having been distracted by the slightly opened box of a dresser from which the Bible was seen. Having opened it and having been surprised to the fact that all pages were absolutely empty, white, without a uniform word on them, the printed Demeter passed to the bathroom. Well, and where your girlfriend vanishes? I can't hold so much. The portal opened. The man of average years, a thin constitution, sitting on a toilet bowl cover, dressed in dark blue jeans, a black polo neck, was indignant. His eyes were hidden under sunglasses with yellow lenses. Hear it? Oleg turned the head to the Demeter aside sitting on the edge of the bathroom and drove a forefinger in the direction counterclockwise on water in almost full bathroom. Patches of light from the lighting falling on water were reflected in a mirror ceiling that frightened to the Demeter much more stranger when it approached closer to greet and embrace Oleg. In the bathroom, in the provision of full drowning with open eyes, there was a naked boy of years of 7-8, at the same time in reflection on a ceiling of his eye were closed also the motionless grass which is almost exhaling spicy aroma in the bathroom, reminding whether seaweed whether spices, wasn't reflected in a ceiling at all. Be not afraid, Dee, I am with you. Having embraced Oleg, calmed. I since the childhood was afraid of corpses, especially if they nurseries. I spoke fir trees. The Demeter. Well, you are not a corpse at all. On the astral plan there is no death. The stranger calmed. It is the portal, the astral copy of the boy Kolenki who now peacefully sleeps, being in your false world. The portal for what? A Demeter. I sat down near Oleg, who embraced her, having paid attention to absolutely white human skull which is nearby, a ritual sword lying on the shelf over a sink. in order that from the false world to get to true. And I can go with you too? Yes, differently you wouldn't be here. Really phenomenal abilities to expansion of consciousness both by means of psychedelic, and without those, to a levitation, creation of the telepathic interface were found in you, as well as in Oleg. The truth we will need to hurry. Having spoken the stranger warmed up having bared a huge number of tattoos on all body which were even on his penis, images of skeletons, hybrids of people with animals and various demons almost completely covered his body. Frightens off policemen and other uninvited guests, he explained. And from where they undertake? A Demeter. I looked back on the parties and I saw a huge number of shadows, some of them reminded the died relatives and acquaintances long ago, others resembled attractive fantasy beings rather, the third inspired genuine horror. Who? Policemen? The strange stranger approached the bathroom. In conscious dreams or psychedelic experiments they are attracted first of all by negative emotions, and on the astral plan it can be either energy of the portal, or energy of an artifact. Artifact? Yes, the thing which fell of the first to you into hands here in fact is an artifact, an anchor allowing to return to a starting point of departure. There now, RD seems I cease to be afraid. It is time for us, the stranger ordered. Oleg quickly enough undressed having bared the fine body, got into the bathroom, at first having lowered one leg in warm water, then another and literally in the eyes entered and was dissolved in a body of the groundless boy. Well, the Demeter, give, enter Kolenka. Do you know how many at you still such portals in life will be? Yes, how many you will wish. It is terrible only for the first time. And the Demeter, having listened to the stranger, I took the first step. The reality right there blossomed before her eyes, the brightest kaleidoscope of paints unprecedented hitherto, billions of stars, constellations, and planets rushed before her eyes, surprising visions of a unification with the world of flora and fauna fancifully mixed up with the terrifying pictures of technogenic catastrophes, world wars, concentration camps, sewage, viruses, and diseases. Then her consciousness slowly returned to the somatic level of perception of reality through identification with dopamine and noradrenaline receptors of nervous system, with various structures of a brain. When she opened eyes and looked round the world around to the Demeter just struck. Sometimes such works in which the saturation of color so is overwound occur in the photo or in video that cuts an eye going to green tone, and surrounding space, the world around was such, instead of slowly moving or creeping clouds on the sky waves lapped, colors of this world were as unreal bright and saturated, smells were extremely sharply felt and they were a certain mix of a lilac and a mowed grass, sounds of extremely big city on which all three, the stranger, Oleg and Demetra at a huge speed on the yellow road leaving for the horizon were carried by a cabriolet without wheel, the driver and wheels instead of which there was a car bottom which isn't concerning the earth if it was possible to call it so, responded both outside and from the head. Where do we go? A Demeter. I looked around. To the downtown, to the most important site in the true world of course. And why this world true? Because that world which all of you consider true, only the copy of ours. Now we pass Moscow city, further you will see the Empire State Building, the Eiffel Tower, the stranger answered with quiet tone. But these miracles of architectural giantism are located in the different countries, objected the Demeter glancing at Oleg who having closed eyes enjoyed that as on his face there passes the gentle warm breeze. Only in yours, if one may say so, the world, but not in true. Look. And here the Demeter all existing sites, and even the Egyptian pyramids appeared literally. And the main attraction, what is it? You will see soon. Usually, newcomers see all stages of development of the portal there. That is, I will see the lovely boy Kolenka again? Most likely. What was called the downtown here was the huge square on which it was very populous, and if to peer at the faces of passers-by, then many of them were the celebrities which generally died. Only in the true world you can get on a session to Sigmund Freud, enter dialogue with Platon, the stranger reported going out of the car and inviting Oleg and Dimitra for itself. To their look, the huge black monolith with specularly reflecting surface appeared. The stranger got from a pocket a black, sharp splinter of triangular shape by sight from the same material and drew them in air a circle. Then the strange black design played a set of small screens, and on them the picture with the most different people continually changed. Some of them were in a toilet. To the first flood of a mirror was two. The first was destroyed by a mud stream and splinters, partially through the gap punched by a flood between the true world and a projection your world. Got to you steal only the remained artifacts. Anything to Kolenka already grey-haired grandfather. Time not linearly, it is possible to operate an object in any its point, time, and spaces. The stranger stretched the diameter a splinter of the first mirror and added. Only is more careful, many what was seen in the second mirror can frighten you, ghosts, nightmares, and demons. And it who? Just as at cinema. A Demeter. I pointed a finger at a ceremony of extremely repellent look at which people in black loose overalls in a circle from black candles in turn had sex, whether with the person, whether from a hybrid of the person and an animal. It is necessary to be afraid of these because they see us too. It is a ceremony on disclosure of astral sight. What to? Kolya is 29 years old and he walks with the friend. A Demeter. I continued to consider Kolya at different age on a set of small windows in a mirror. Interestingly, and they by means of it can undress at least? I burst out laughing. The Demeter. They aren't present, but if you want it, that is a great number of others. The stranger squeezed hands. Dimeters with a splinter in the in all mirror couple from two guys. One looked as the trainer from the gym, the second, on the contrary, was a thin constitution, with rather professional makeup and in a beautiful blue dress, going along badly lit night street of the unfamiliar city were displayed. Here they can. And what to me for this purpose to make? To wave a magic splinter? No, they will make for you everything that you will want if you fill them with a spiritist of love and care, but I warn, it is pleasure of N for nervous. And how to make it? Here actually the spiritist. The stranger stretched it, the small bottle closed by a rubber lid and 5 silver coins. In her right palm he enclosed silver coins of 5, 3, and 1, and in her left hand 10 and 5. Show them these coins strictly in this sequence. And all? She was surprised with amazement, having looked at coins. No, with you 2 of your new friends and you will go, perhaps, to be necessary more suitable appearance. 2 guys with appearance of the Hollywood film actors, and the Demeter, having accepted appearance of the porn actress. Instantly with them I moved on the street with 2 guys who are gently holding hands and going towards motel. Do you look for an eternal high, children? One of new friends asked Dimeters. Wouldn't tell, with a gentle and womanly voice the guy in a blue dress answered. Just my boyfriend works in one very serious organization and well, we don't want that the security service learned about us and therefore we want to have the room in heart of night. Open a spiritist of love and care, the voice in the head at Dimeters, and it ordered, having obediently got a bottle from a pocket, opened it. Now show them coins. When she made it both guys on the street changed countenance. Do you look for an eternal high, children? Well, we tried everything and it would be desirable something new. And at this moment there passed one more passer-by from whom the Demeter shuddered as Oleg wasn't near. Here. I stretched a bubble from opaque glass. Consider that you found that looked for. Pupils of both of these guys immediately extended, without feeling legs both of them moved to number, took off the friend from the friend clothes and had sex. Then friend's Dimeters evaporated, and it with brightly high spirits appeared in the city again. I congratulate, D. You performed a task brilliantly. In an award for it you still sometime will stay at us. Wow! The stranger, Oleg, and Dimitra took seat in a cabriolet again and it rushed even quicker. The impassable thicket was replaced by frightening gravestones, and when the car stopped to a look to Oleg again and Dimitra the new picture of beauty appeared, a picture of the unprecedented feast leaving on the scope somewhere it is far for the pink horizon. Here all are always full and happy, the stranger explained. Without Kolenka it is hardly possible to feel happy. And you glance in a splinter. Dimitar, I looked at a splinter which immediately accepted white color, and I saw the portal quite old there, 8 moving legs. There now and everything, is time for you. But how? I don't want to leave from here. Here it is so fine. You will be able to come here so much, how many you will want. Give, we will say goodbye, we will close behind ourselves the portal and prior to new meetings. After the stranger spoke all this, 3 appeared near the bathroom with the drowned boy again. Close the portal, D. How to make it? It wiped tears. You can read it the poem or sing a song. The lady shuddered, and tears began to boil as a surf. You a little bit were late. Mr. Yanji bong e boy. To anything dreams and dreams. In the world there is a lot of sad prose. I to love you isn't free. I am given another. You a little bit were late. Mr. Yanji bong e boy. Dear Yanji bong e boy. Oleg, rather the first that came to his mind, quoted Edward Lear. After Oleg spoke the last words in the same mode as in the slowed down video filming at a videotape pro, Hank glass splinters right there gathered in a hand, dimeters in the whole glass back.